Welcome everybody to In the Net in Palmyra. We are here for the second game of the doubleheader here between Central Penn College and Penn State Hazleton. Central Penn won the first game thanks to a big Connor Graham home run, and we're here for game number 2. Joining in action, I got to tell you, Tyler, these quick turnarounds on these doubleheaders don't do anyone any favors, do they?
No, they don't do anyone any favors, but definitely trying to move the games along so we can get out of here quick before it gets too cold, I suppose.
Or the lights come on. And the next game, I believe, is a 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock start, so we'll definitely be under the lights, that's for sure. One batter in, one down here. On the mound today, Edwards. We've definitely seen Edwards thus far. Colby Edwards from Reading, Pennsylvania. Freshman, so our super freshmen are continuing to lead the way on the mound. Definitely looking forward to another big game today, but gosh, what an exciting first game, Tyler.
Yeah, it definitely was. The Knights got out to an early 1-0 lead, but then they fell behind again, and all thanks to Connor Graham coming through with the big 3-run home run late in the game to not only give the Knights the lead, but ended up pulling out the victory because of it.
So up to bat right now, Eric Weaver, who is a sophomore. So one down here in the top of the first. Big hack there. Strikes him out. Up to bat now, Colin Stauffer takes low and outside.
You know, going back to the freshman point that you made, Hayden Fox had a great first game on Sunday and then followed up by Ryan Stevens in game 1 today. So now we're looking for another big game from Colby Edwards.
And you got to give Christian Fulp his due. He definitely got battered around a little bit in the first 2 innings, but man, he came back with 5 scoreless after that. So definitely a sign of positivity, at least in Christian Fulp's first start. And I'm sure Christian would tell you the same thing. Did you have a chance to talk to him since then?
Yeah, we texted back and forth a little bit, and you know that's what he said. He fell into a little trouble early on in the game, but he was definitely happy with how he finished out strong and looks to take that momentum into his next start.
And we were a Connor Graham home run away from another victory in that one. Of course, you can't expect Connor to hit a home run every single time he's up to the plate.
No, but the team fought back hard. It was a tough loss. They gave themselves a chance to win with Connor Graham coming up. Eventually flew out to right field, but definitely a hard-fought loss.
Big crowd here today. We're very pleased with our very surprising turnout, especially even while nice for March 1st baseball, still a little cold, especially with the wind. Big strikeout there, and Edwards strikes out 2, and so an amazing first inning so far. No runs, no hits, no errors. We'll go to the bottom of the first, 0-0.
For the 5th straight year, Central Penn College has earned the military-friendly school designation. Currently, Central Penn has 55 students who are either veterans or who are active in the military or National Guard. The Student Veterans of America Club is accepting new members. Students must be veterans or active military to join. For more information about the club, contact Student Success Coach and Club Advisor Dan Garisi at 717-728-2367. Do you know a high school junior or senior who is looking to get a great career-focused education? Central Penn College is holding its spring open house Saturday, March 7th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The college welcomes prospective students and their parents to attend the open house. You can register at www.centralpenn.edu/spring.
I got to tell you, Tyler, I will be there this Saturday. If anybody wants to talk to me about the nightly news, our communications program, or the opportunity to work with our athletics program, please stop by the open house. I'll be upstairs. I'm not going to necessarily have any treats or anything, although maybe I can go grab some donuts or something.
Donuts always work, especially at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Of course. So here's the lineup for Central Penn. Leading off, Alex Dominguez. Hitting in the 2 hole, we have Pardon me one moment. Christian Lara, third, the hero of Game 1, Connor Graham, hitting cleanup, Chris Rosario. Number 5 hole hitter, Zach Boyer. Number 6 hole hitter, Hayden Fox. The 7 hole in the DH today, Dominique Humes. Max Thorpe hits 8th. Christian Fulp hits 9th. And I like what they're doing, putting Fulp and Dominguez. I thought it was going to be sort of the 1-2 thing, but I like how they're trying to mix speed at the bottom of the lineup with Fulp. I think that's maybe could help his bat get going as well.
Yeah, I kind of touched base on that last game with Brian. It kind of looks like you have 2 leadoff hitters now with Fulp hitting 9th and then Dominguez leading off. It definitely helps with the speed aspect, and I know Christian had a big hit last game, so hopefully that'll help wake up his bat and give him some confidence.
Keep in mind as well, we'll be back here with you next Wednesday, March 11th at 4 o'clock for a 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. game. We will be under the lights at that point against Williamson Trade, always one of our big rivals, so we'll look forward to coming back to those games next week. But obviously the task at hand here is to sweep this doubleheader and start the season off 3-1. We're going to go to the bottom of the first inning here, and Alex Dominguez leads off. Dominguez has certainly been and made his impact felt early here in the first few games with his speed. Wasn't happy that didn't have a chance to bat there in the bottom of the 6th to try to tack on some runs. Actually was at the plate when the second runner was thrown out. The pitch. So for Penn State Hazleton, we have Brandon Hardiman starting here. Hardiman is a sophomore. He's from Hunlock Creek, Pennsylvania. Not sure where that quite's at. I will say, I will give Brian one thing. Brian's pretty good about the state geography. So if somebody's from a particular area, he seems to have some sort of commentary on that particular place.
He's very quick to point that out. So
hey, nothing wrong with that. I would honestly say I'm not the biggest with state geography in terms of where one city is compared to another. Dominguez steps in. 2 strikes here, so he's got to watch out what he's swinging at. And that hits him. That's going to leave a little bruise tomorrow. But he did take it right in the hip.
Took it in the hip, and that'll get the Knights the early base runner. Definitely some speed now coming up for the middle of the order.
Christian Lara from Mechanicsburg, PA. Interestingly enough, he went to Susquehanna Township High School.
Coach Stern does an excellent job at recruiting local talent.
Low and outside there. Definitely one of the things I was talking about is some of the pitching calls that were happening on Sunday, Tyler. I don't know if you saw a whole lot of that in Game 1, but...
Well, there definitely was. I know one of the last strikeouts that Penn State Hazleton saw there in the top of the 7th, their coaches and players were not happy with it, and the umpire seemed a little inconsistent at times, but sometimes you just have to look past that and stay focused on what you're doing.
Probably mid-50s out here, but a very stiff breeze, I'd say, of gusts up to about maybe 20 miles an hour, and it's not to the point in terms of heat that it is a nice breeze. It's a cold breeze. Fortunately enough, we do get to sit inside the press box. Yeah. You're in a T-shirt.
It was definitely a lot warmer earlier when I made my way to the field, but definitely got a little bit windier.
Big cut from Laura, can't connect.
You know, Laura had the excellent sack bunt in the 6th inning of the last game, which put runners at 2nd and 3rd that helped set up Connor Graham's 3-run homer, so we definitely have to give him credit on that.
Definitely nice to see, while it's very important from our veteran leadership here, it's nice to see the next crop of freshmen here at Central Penn College moving the needle.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you can bring in 9 freshmen and you can learn from guys like Connor Graham, Jared Rivera, Christian Fulp, definitely going to be a helpful experience to learn some new things for your future career.
Squares, but that pitch is outside high. And you can tell Dominguez is rattling the pitcher somewhat. He's already seen 2 throwovers, which You can't really say the importance of having someone on first base who's a threat to go. It gets in the pitcher's mind. They're worried about two things instead of the task at hand. It's tough to get through. That one's low, gets away from the catcher. Either way, it's a walk. We could be in business here early on, Tyler. 2 on, no one out for Connor Graham.
This is exactly who you'd want coming to the plate with 2 early base runners. So let's see if Connor can give the Knights an early first inning lead.
Connor, of course, 2 dingers on the season already in this young season. He seems to like that monster out there, and trust me, on the podcast when I had him on recently, he said that those are some of his most memorable, times in baseball, hitting him over the monster here. So cool that we're able to be on this field, too. One of the nicest fields in the region. Known very, very well, and we're honored to be here at In the Net. Paul Miller and Tyler Coleman with you. Tyreen Smalley is doing photo for us, helping produce the show. He's doing an amazing job. So if you see him around campus, give him a thumbs up for his efforts thus far. Inside and low. The pitcher is really struggling at this point to find his mark, Hardiman. A hit batsman, a walk, and now a 2-0 to Graham. And say what you want about Connor Graham, you do not want to load the bases for Chris Rosario.
No, you don't. Hardiman is definitely struggling to find his mark right now, as you said, but that definitely could play in favor here of the Knights. So we kind of touched base about it earlier in Game 1 about getting an early lead and hopefully being able to stay out in front.
So back to taking a look at last year with Rosario, 4 home runs, 19 RBIs, 11 doubles, and over a 1,200 OPS, Tyler, on base plus slugging. Again, that has to do with total bases. He was a huge dynamo last year for the Central Penn Knights in the middle of that order. And I'd argue, Tyler, we have got to have one of the strongest 3-4-5 with Graham, Rosario, and Rivera. In all of our competition, I mean, these guys are really world-class talents.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt.
Certainly can't, we were talking about the weather, Tyler, we certainly can't complain about this. When we look back to the first week of the season last year, sitting in the 30-degree freezing rain, we'll take this 100 times out of 100.
Definitely.
The pitch. Looks like an off-speed pitch there to Graham. Swing and a miss. It's 2-1.
Kind of mentioned to Brian earlier. It's a good thing we didn't have a game yesterday with how much rain we
got. Yeah, we got really lucky with how the schedule broke here.
But hopefully the snow will hold off too. We won't have too many rescheduled games.
Well, and we have one the 11th, and then we don't have another one for 17 days as the gentlemen, I believe, go south to Virginia. Coach Stern on the last podcast talked about the upcoming road trip, one of the first of its kind in Knight history. They're going to take a little trip down to Virginia and play a couple of excellent opponents down there, Mid-Atlantic Christian and Apprentice. Tune back into that one. I believe that one was episode 116. Find it on our YouTube channel, where you are right now. Oh, Connor Graham, not happy with that call.
Yeah, one of his last at-bats in the first game, Connor was not happy with the calls that were being made, and he's sure quick to show his expression there.
But he does it in a classy way.
He does. Sometimes you just need to turn around and have a...
Got to keep him honest.
Yeah, private chat.
Fortunately, we can't hear what's being said on the field. Struck out. Now, Dominguez does get into third. Nice steal there. We got first and third for Rosario. One down, first and third, Rosario up.
The base hit or a sac fly could give the Knights the early lead. They were able to take a 1-0 lead in the first inning of the first game. So let's see if they can do the same thing here.
And the pitch from Hardiman. Oh, he's going back to first, and the ball gets away. Dominguez breaks for home. And that's probably going to be an error. So an unearned run. It's 1-0 here, Knights. Interesting how Dominguez got around the bases there, Tyler. A hit by pitch, a walk. With the walk, he moved to second, a steal of third, and then scores on an error. You don't hear that very often.
His speed came into play there. That able to take the third base, and then the wild throw got him home.
Big at bat here for Rosario. He could start it off early on. And again, that's probably the 8th throw over thus far, and we're only through 3 batters.
Makes you wonder why he's so concerned with the base runner. Just focus on the batter and try to get him out. Ground ball could get them the double play.
And to be honest, it's not like they have some sort of read on him either, like he's a speedster. Now he is going.
There he goes, yeah.
Ball in the dirt, no throw. And another steal. Maybe there's some sort of scouting on Penn State Hazleton.
Surprised after the errant throw, the first base, that they didn't kind of rock the pitcher's confidence. I think continued throwing over there.
And Rosario now running runner in scoring position. Now they're right back up the box, and that's going to go, and Stern waves him home. Laura head first slide, and he's in there. So an RBI single for Chris Rosario. And it's 2-0, and Tyler, no one out. Pardon me, Connor Graham did strike out. There's 1 down. Thank you for calling me on that. You can say it out loud. I'm wrong sometimes, too.
Definitely good to see the Knights offense get going here early.
And that's low and in the dirt, and Rosario's going to take second.
Does not seem like Hardiman and his catcher are on the same page right now. But hopefully the early lead can give Colby Edwards some confidence to go out there and do his thing and just pitch with the early lead.
Vasquez is the catcher today. It is still early in the season. I wonder if maybe this is just their first I would imagine it probably is their first in-game experience together. And, that's sort of the thing about college athletics. There's not really a whole lot of exhibition games. To the best of my knowledge, the Knights didn't play many, if any, exhibition games, and same in basketball as well. You're kind of just going, unlike the NFL that thinks that charging season ticket holders for 2 games of people who aren't going to be on the team is a good idea. And what are your thoughts about the 17-game schedule, Tyler?
I think I think fans would be excited for it, but I know there's been a lot of disagreement between the players and the owners over money issues, and I don't think playing one more game necessarily would hurt, but...
Well, especially when they're playing that game anyway in the preseason.
Yeah,
As a season ticket holder, that was why we are no longer season ticket holders, because you'd pay full price for games you can't give away.
Yeah. Maybe eliminate a preseason game then.
But then the teams are down a home game. Yeah. So, we digress. Boyer skies to right field, and there's a catch. Rosario fakes to third, but stays. So 2 down. Hayden Fox up to the plate. Didn't hit on Sunday. From Quarryville, Pennsylvania, and Solanco High School. So Rosario on second, 2 down for Hayden Fox, the nightly news player of the game for the first game of the season with 13 strikeouts.
13 strikeouts in your first ever career college start. Can't ask for anything better than that.
No. And I'll tell you what was even more interesting about that start was that Hayden got himself into trouble almost right away. He had 2 guys on base in the first inning, ended up getting out of it, pretty much unscathed, and then cruised the rest of the way. In the dirt, Hardiman is just really struggling to find the plate. And I got to tell you, Vasquez is actually doing a pretty darn good job back there, even though on maybe the score sheet it doesn't look like it. He's stopped several balls in the dirt. And it might also be interesting, this is the first time for maybe some of these guys playing on turf like this. There's got to be some different bounces. And there's a shot. That should get down. It is caught. That looked like he was going to find the gap for Fox. Didn't quite make it. But pretty eventful inning here for the Knights. 2 runs across, 1 base hit. And 1 left, so we'll go to the the top of the second, and it's 2-0 Central Penn.
The Biller Family Foundation was formed with the intentions of helping to empower youth through sustainable sports funding. The Biller Family Foundation is a public charity founded in 2008 by Jerry Biller II and the Biller family to provide a resource for caring individuals and the causes they support, enabling them to make a charitable impact on the community. We help donors of many variations, such as individuals, companies, or endowments that are passionate with their athletics and want to create an everlasting impact. We help create permanent charitable funds of everlasting impact. These funds ensure that people of vision will have an enduring influence on the life of their community, the positive impact of our young leaders of tomorrow, and the charitable causes they hold dear. For more information, please go to the Biller Family Foundation website at the-bff.com.
And we're going to head to the top of the second. 2-0 here, Central Penn. And I got to say, Colby Edwards cruised through the first inning. If anything else, he might have been on the bench for a little while there. We'll see. Kosalak will open up. Yurchak on deck. And Goida.
Yeah, definitely a different feeling for Edwards here, pitching with the lead rather than pitching from behind. So hopefully he can go out there with the confidence and have a quick inning and get his team back to work.
Another ball there for Edwards. Coming into today, Kosalak was 1 for 6 with an RBI and 4 strikeouts. And there's a shot to third. And that'll be an out.
That's a quick first out.
Boyer with the put out there.
Yeah, to your comment last inning, sometimes playing on this turf, the ball can take a tricky hop.
Well, and I think that's a huge advantage for Central Penn. So Steph Yurchak, sophomore from Weatherly, Pennsylvania. We might have to reach out to Brian and see if he can let us know where that is. One down, top second. Yurchak outside.
Colby Edwards playing around with the mound a little bit. I wonder if he had some footing issues on that throw.
Well, and I think we brought this up on Sunday, but as wonderful as this weather is, it's still almost still February.
It definitely takes its toll on the field.
And we have to give In the Net a ton of credit for how quality of conditions we're playing under here today. Knights with a huge 3-run home run from Connor Graham in the first game, and we're victorious in the first game of this doubleheader. Yurchak gets away from Colby Edwards there, and he walks him.
Daylight savings time rolling around on Sunday. Next Wednesday, we might be able to play in a little bit more sunlight before the lights come on.
It's going down here. Gets away from Thorpe. And Yurchak will take second on the pass ball. Mason Goida to the plate right now. He's a freshman. From Lansford, PA. That one was a little high. High and tight, as they would say.
Definitely don't like seeing the ball coming at your head, but
I would imagine that the Houston Astros are probably going to have some good reflexes this season as well. Although the commissioner maintains that there's going to be stiff penalties if that does happen. What do you anticipate happening with that?
I anticipate them getting hit a lot. If I'm a pitcher, I'd take my suspension early on in the year. I think it's just kind of ridiculous that players who hit them are going to get penalized more than the team who cheated.
And that's going right back up the box. They're going to get one, but that'll move the runner over to third base. Laura with the putout and Rosario. That does move the runner over on the fielder's choice.
Oh, Edwards just 1 out away now, getting out of this inning.
And up to the plate is Vasquez. He's from Hazleton, PA. I do know where that is, Tyler.
Have you been up to the Hazleton area?
It's been a while, but yes, I've definitely been through there several times. Outside, but still a good pitch. Edwards not happy. Edwards out of the windup. And that's going to be a ball.
Edwards keeps taking a look down at the mound. Definitely seems like he's having some footing issues right now.
Vasquez 2 down and a runner on third has a chance to tack on a run. And that one's going to go to Laura. Pretty routine play to first. That gets us out of the inning. There was one, no base hits actually. There was a walk, one runner left. But we are going to go to the bottom of the second, and it's Central Penn 2, Penn State Hazleton, nothing.
Are you interested in pursuing a career in business, accounting, marketing, or communications? Central Penn College offers more than 30 career-focused programs and flexible class formats, including in-person, online, and hybrid courses. For more information, visit our website at centralpenn.edu. Are you interested in a healthcare career? Central Penn offers 2-year programs in physical therapist assistant, occupational therapy assistant, and medical assisting, as well as a bachelor's program in healthcare management. For more information, visit our website at centralpenn.edu.
We'll see Humes, Thorpe, and Fulp, and then followed up with the top of the order of Dominguez, if we get that far. Humes did have an at-bat last game. He is the DH today. This is giving Jared Rivera the second part of this doubleheader of the day off. But rest assured, we've got as good of a pinch hitter on the bench as you could possibly ask for. There's no question about that.
Jared could potentially play a huge role in this game if he's asked to pinch hit later in the 6th or 7th inning.
Hardiman really struggled in the first inning. Be interesting to see what happens here. Hit a batter, walked a batter, did strike out one, allowed a single to Rosario that scored an RBI, and then did have 2 pop-outs to the right fielder. So did get out of it, but not without those 2 runs. Humes will lead off here. He's the designated hitter today. He's from Decatur, Georgia. I would say he's come the farthest, but James Taylor's got everybody beat coming from Australia. I do have James in one of my classes, a really awesome kid. Looking forward to seeing him. He's one of our star pitchers this season, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he offers the team.
Coming from Australia, that's definitely a long way to come play baseball.
Interestingly enough, Tyler, we would be one of the few broadcasts they would be able to get in Australia in terms of the types of television they're able to get over.
Well, hopefully his family and friends are able to take a look at it.
If you're out there, say hi from Australia in the comments. We can see you. Late strike call there to Humes. Kind of took him a second.
It did. Here we go, kind of with the questionable calls again, but if the umpires can stay consistent, that's the biggest thing that you ask for.
And that almost buzzed his head. We did see Brian Rodriguez get hit in the head on Sunday. Did you have a chance to talk to Brian at all? Make sure he was okay.
I have not, but he seemed to be okay. He was able to walk down to first base.
Well, he remained in the game,
power.
so.
Yep. So it's a good sign after you get hit by a pitch.
Low and in the dirt, Hardiman continues to struggle to find the plate. I do notice that the pitch that hit Dominguez and the pitch that almost just hit Humes was a curveball. So I wonder if he's having trouble locating that curveball today.
There we go.
And ball 4.
So another early base runner.
Max Thorpe will come to the plate. Christian Fulp will be on deck. Our star center fielder and comrade with the Nightly News Media Club. Christian's the president of our club, was one of our broadcasters during basketball season, which we're happy to say. We must say that we're so happy that the men's team was the number 2 seed. Goes to the backstop, and Humes will take second there on the passed ball. We saw Steve Shoemaker out there. Steve, thank you very much for the kind words. We are so happy that the USCAA tournament is set for the men. We are the number 2 seed. Unfortunately, the ladies did not make the tournament. I'm sure Chris Norkus not pleased about that. But we have to say, wonderful season, a 15-4 mark and the best winning percentage ever in Lady Knights history. And that ball gets away. And Humes is going to slide into third and does make it on another passed ball. Tyler, at what point does the coach for Penn State address this situation? That's at least 3 passed balls that I see, possibly 4.
It's definitely a tough situation and not one that I envy to be in, because with the game 1 of the doubleheader, you're trying to probably limit your use of pitchers, but you can generally only let your starting pitcher struggle so much because you want your team to still have a chance to win the game. But to your point, right now he's really struggling with command, so it'd be interesting to see if he gives up a few more runs, how much longer he'll last.
I think the Knights should sit on fastball here because I think he's going to back away from throwing that curve, and that one's inside as well, and a walk Thorpe.
So that'll bring up Christian Fulp now, as we kind of talked with him hitting in the 9-hole. Interesting point.
And they're going to call time and ice Christian. Big opportunity here for the Knights to crack this game wide open.
Back in Christian Fulp's first at bat in the last game, he came up to bat with a white bat, and the game was actually stopped and told him that he couldn't use it. So they made him change bats, and that was kind of a questionable call.
Did we ever get a sense of why the issue was with the bat?
Apparently they said it was because it was a white bat. That's from what our understanding
seems to be the bat that he's using now is white.
Kind of what I was wondering. They did. They made him change bats, and apparently he seems to be okay now.
So with USCAA rules, because Thorpe is the catcher, Rodriguez will be pitch running here, and that will not take Thorpe out of the game. So Rodriguez on first, Humes on third, Fulp the senior, and Rodriguez instantly goes, another ball in the dirt, and there's a stolen base.
I definitely like that stolen base. It's a smart idea, because if the catcher throws down to second, the runner from third always has a shot to come home and score. So now you have runners second and third for Christian to add to the Knights' early lead.
We're going to give Rodriguez a stolen base there because he was headed anyway, and it wasn't the passed ball that prevented him. He's just down in the zone here. He's not able to Hardiman is not able to locate his pitches at all today. And now we've got second and third with nobody out, and the senior leader of the team, Christian Fulp, up to bat. This could really start off his season well with a base hit here. And that's going to get away from the catcher as well.
Yeah, Christian had a nice hit in the right center field in the first game, so how about another hit here and give him a couple RBIs along with it?
Christian looking forward to You're going to be doing some feature stories about some of these senior nights. I look forward to your story about Christian. How has your friendship grown over the past couple of years, Tyler?
Christian's a great guy. I mean, I started taking classes and really coming around campus about 2 years ago, and Christian was one of the first guys that I became friends with and connected. And I think our friendship has only become stronger working on the projects that we have, broadcasting basketball games, and it's really an honor to get to watch him play baseball here. And I'm excited to say that we'll be graduating around the same time in September, so I know we're both looking forward to it.
And you'll have to put May 1st, 2020 down so you can come back for commencement. You do have a leg up on him, though, because you're in the process of finishing up your internship right now, and Christian's about to go on his. That's going to be popped straight back.
Yeah, I actually, and I can share it with you now, just yesterday I spoke to my site supervisor, Steve Graz, over there, and he knows that my internship actually will be finishing up next week, and he asked me to stay on to help work with some of the shows, so I'm happy to say I'll be working at least in a part-time position for right now with Pennsylvania Cable Network.
A shot to center. Are they going to... And he dropped the ball! That's going to score one. Unfortunately for Christian, that's probably going to be an error. And I don't know if that's going to be an RBI for him.
That's okay. Christian saw the ball get down. Might not necessarily be a hit, but either way, it got the run in, and it's a 3-0 Knights lead. So good for Christian to at least get on base.
Christian on base, another run in. Humes scores off the walk. So Dominguez, first and third, still no one out. 3-0 Knights. And a base hit here could continue to pile on the runs. Fulp takes off for second. They've got Rodriguez at third, but the ball squirts away. Rodriguez comes home. Fulp to third.
And just like that, it's 4-0, and Christian goes from first to third on a wild throw from the catcher. Wow.
So Christian will get the steal, and then an error on the catcher.
Definitely heads up base running by Christian to steal second, but then also move over to third on the errant throw.
So Christian reaches base on an error, steals, and reaches third on another error.
If Dominguez can put the ball in play, the Knights could have a 5-0 lead.
Pretty incredible start to this bottom half of the second inning here. And that comes straight back.
Makes you wonder with the cloud cover that's coming in if they'll turn the lights on.
Can Hardiman get out of this inning? Already 4-0, first and third. Dominguez will pop that one up to the first baseman.
Tough out there for Dominguez because he's unable to get Fulp in from third. So now hopefully Christian Lara can pick his teammate up and hopefully add to the Knights' lead here.
Lara walked, stole a base, scored a run in the first. And that's going to be straight back. Fortunately, my car is not parked out in that general vicinity. Definitely, I would say here in the net, be very careful where you are parking. Because while there is a very nice sized net around the field, there still can get some balls out of play. And that's inside, gets away from the catcher again.
I know last season we saw a few cars get hit. Definitely have to be careful on that.
So Fulp at third. Yeah, I mean, I do have insurance, but I'd rather not have to drive home with a busted windshield. Although, I gotta tell you, I've hit a few in my day, I gotta tell you. Low and inside. Makes it a 2-1 count for Laura. I'm going to have to talk to Christian and see where he lives in Mechanicsburg. I live in Mechanicsburg myself. I just moved there a few years ago. I'm from Carlisle, as is Tyler, but moved to Mechanicsburg with my family. And that ball could be trouble, but is out of play foul.
Mechanicsburg's a nice area to live in. I have some family that lives in the center of town. So.
Really?
Yeah, right off of Main Street, actually. If you know where the Frederickson Library is at.
Of course.
They actually live right down the street.
Well, they would live right near me because I can see the Frederickson Library from the back of my house.
Definitely a lot of places you can walk to there in the city.
Part of the reason we we wanted to move there. Another walk here. That's three walks this inning, and then Fulp reached base on an error. Clearly, Hardiman and Vasquez not on the same page, and I think that's going to be it for Hardiman. Yeah. Being 4-0 at this point and threatening first and third here with Connor Graham at the plate. This could spell disaster for Penn State Hazleton.
Did you know that Central Penn College, unlike some institutions, does not charge any type of fee for applying? It's absolutely free. Go to our website at centralpenn.edu to apply. Central Penn's year-round accelerated schedule, composed of 4 11-week terms, enables full-time students to earn a bachelor's degree in 3 years. Fast-track your success with our accelerated terms.
Just also wanted to put a little shout out there, a little shameless plug for myself, Tyler. The second movie of 2020 in the quarterly CPC film series will be A League of Their Own. You can catch this fictional account of All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, starring Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, Madonna, and Lori Petty on Friday, April 24th at 6:30 in the Capitol Blue Cross Theater. Professor Paul Miller, that's me, will give a brief talk on the film prior to viewing, and there will be food and snacks available for donation to the Nightly News Media Club. We'll be opening the doors at 6, and the event is free, open to the public, and family-friendly. Tyler, I really think you're going to enjoy that. My whole presentation, I'm not going to let too much out of the bag just yet. My whole presentation is going to be about baseball. Of course, we will cover the league, but I want to talk a lot about my particular background with baseball and why this movie resonated with me. And I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to go a second time for the CPC film series, and certainly hope you're there, Tyler.
Definitely looking forward to that. A League of Their Own has always been one of my favorite baseball movies. You know, the iconic line, "There's no crying in baseball."
Well, interestingly enough, that might be some of the subject for my presentation. I don't want to give too much away here. Back to the game. First and second, we have a new pitcher, number 19. That is Ryan Wingerter. And that ball gets away from Vasquez.
Yeah, how ironic to see his first pitch in the dirt as well.
And Laura will get a steal. Wingerter, a freshman from Dingman's Ferry, Pennsylvania. Maybe Brian can send a message to us on the YouTube page. Let us know if that's close to his way. That's one I have not heard of. We should bring a map of Pennsylvania into the booth with us here. Graham skies a shot to deep center, but the catch is made. That will get a run home. Great slide by Fulp. And the sacrifice fly from Graham. That'll be an RBI.
And it is now 5-0 Knights. Definitely a nice job to jump out to the early lead. You know, we talked about it in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday. You know, when the team falls behind early, it's tough to get caught back up, and always a lot easier to play with the lead.
Rosario comes up with with a man on third, Laura. Rosario straight back, foul. Rosario steps back into the box. Humes has scored. Rodriguez scored running for Thorpe. Fulp scores. We've got Laura on third. Graham Graham with the sack fly. 2 down. Bottom 2. It's 5-0 Central Penn. Big at bat here. A little bit inside, but he's took it for a ride. That's in deep left.
Got around on that one.
Will be caught to end the inning. It was another heck of an inning here for Central Penn, who put 3 across. And unfortunately, I see Christian running out to center. He looks like he's got a little limp there coming off of that slide. Let's keep an eye on that. But we'll go to the top of the third. It's 5-0 Central Penn.
For the 2020-2021 academic year, Central Penn College is offering free housing to new students, both freshmen and transfer students who attend full-time and choose to live on campus. For more information, go to centralpenn.edu/free housing. Come join the Nightly News Media Club. We offer an online newspaper, quarterly publication, weekly podcasts, and paid positions with our sports broadcast team. For the spring term, we meet in even-numbered weeks in ATEC 204 from noon to 1 p.m. Stop by and learn how you can get involved, or email Club Advisor Paul Miller at paulmiller@centralpenn.edu for more information.
And I'm happy to chat with anybody about the club. We do have one more club meeting this year. We'll be coming up next Thursday. We're looking forward to it. We're going to have some food. So if anyone's interested in potentially joining the club and having something to do with the broadcasting team, come on out and I'll feed you lunch and we'll chat with the club to see what we have going on. A lot going on in the spring. We've got the rest of the baseball season. Definitely a lot going on with the Nightly News. We're doing our gala coming up here, not this weekend but next weekend, which is something we do every year with the American Lung Association. So we look forward to that. All right, to the top of the third, it's 5-0 Central Penn. Edwards looks to continue cruising. Hasn't allowed a hit yet. Did allow a walk. And number 14, Mark Kakinda from Lansford, PA. He's a freshman. And we'll see whatever Edwards has in the third, and starts off first pitch that hits him.
You know there can't be any intention behind that after your team just getting you 4 runs last inning. You're trying to come out and have a quick 1-2-3 inning, and hopefully Edwards is able to find his footing after that.
I got to tell you, I've watched a lot of games, and I honestly just don't think that goes on at this level. I think there's too much on the line to get involved in that type of thing, and frankly, I think that only really happens once in a while in the big leagues too. I think there are more hit batsmen. Like, yes, I know they're major league pitchers, but they're not perfect either. You have a bad throw every once in a while. But runner on first. Santos to the plate. Number 3, Rafael Santos. He's from Hazleton. He's a sophomore. Coming into this game, he was 1 for 7. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and a .250 on base. It's kind of tough saying stats so early on. Santos to third. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to move the runner up. A single from Santos moves Kakinda to second. And that brings up Eric Weaver. Struck out. Oh, Weaver's on deck, pardon me. We're going to get back to the top of the order. James Kanza grounded out in the first. The pitch. Big cut. Strike one. So we got runners on first and second with no one out here in the top of the third. Central Penn leads 5-0. Paul Miller and Tyler Coleman here with you on the call today for the second half of a doubleheader. Central Penn won the first game thanks to Connor Graham and a team effort. I don't want to just say Connor, but Connor's the one that brought him back after trailing with a big 3-run home run over the Monster, his second of the year.
I definitely got to give credit to freshman pitcher Ryan Stevens. He pitched a great job and kept the team in the game and gave them a chance to win.
3 straight complete games for the Knights. Hayden Fox, Christian Fulp, and today Stevens.
So kind of expecting the same here from Colby Edwards. Hopefully he can pitch well and get through the complete game.
Well, so far so good. We'll see how this inning goes. A nice pitch. Catches the outside half. Edwards cruising right along. See, this is to me the difference. While it's not to say that these guys on base for Hazleton couldn't steal, but he's not really paying them a whole lot of mind. He's focusing at the batter at hand, and I think that's where Hardiman kind of got off the rails a little bit.
And sometimes I think that's what you need to do is, when you have base runners on, just realize, hey, one pitch here could get me a ground ball double play. And the runners can only do so much, so just worry about what you can control.
Does walk Kuza there. James Kuza, which leads the way for number 5, Eric Weaver. Hyattville, Maryland. I do know where that is, Tyler. I've been to Hyattville a couple of times.
Is it a nice area?
Yeah, it's a lot of Maryland's a really nice area. Down 15, right there on the other side of the border. Right, not too far from Gettysburg. You ever get down to Gettysburg?
Gettysburg is a nice area, especially during summertime.
A lot of tourists. I prefer spring or fall personally.
Yeah.
Gets a little wild there in the summer. Just low. And now Edwards is struggling. So Edwards, 2 walks and a single here. Leadoff walked to Kakinda. Santos singled and Kuza walked. Bases loaded, no one out. Knights have a 5-0 lead, but Hazleton's threatening.
Yeah, Edwards just got to get back to what he was doing in the first and second inning here.
Beautiful pitch there. Strong cut from Weaver, but can't connect. Stauffer is on deck. Edwards looking for another strike here. Nowhere to put him. It's going to be low. He's thrown that pitch several times and isn't getting that call.
Yeah, Edwards seems to be a little frustrated with some of the calls that he's getting, but he's just got to stay focused on his game plan and continue to do what was working for him in the first 2 innings.
Good pitch there. That's 2 strikes. Count is full, 3-2. Big pitch here. The runners will more than likely be going. Though you have to be careful here because if it's hit right at someone, that can be an easy double play. The runners are not going. Big cut there, and Weaver down on strikes.
Big strikeouts with the bases loaded. Nice job by Edwards.
Stepping up to the plate, number 12, Colin Stauffer. He's from West Hazleton, Pennsylvania. Someone out there will have to tell me the nuance on Hazleton's geography of that town itself. He's a junior, DHing today. Big cut there and can't connect. Edwards has that sweeping, it's not a curveball. I would imagine it's some type of slider. That's really been fooling Hazleton thus far.
Might be a pitch he looks to stick with to see if he can get out of this jam.
And that's going to go straight back quickly. 2 strikes. And I'll tell you, if he could get out of this inning, Tyler, that would be unbelievable.
It'd be huge. I think it'd be big momentum, honestly, for the team. You know, you get yourself in a jam, able to pitch yourself out of it, knowing you still have a 5-0 lead.
And Edwards with 2 strikes on Stauffer. Goes right back at him and strikes him out on 3 pitches. And I'll tell you,
Back-to-back strikeouts.
with the bases loaded, it's unbelievable. All right. That brings up number 24, Brett Kosiolek, Jr. from Tamaqua, Pennsylvania. I know where that is, too. A very good friend of ours, Dylan Epler, is from Tamaqua, Pennsylvania.
Edwards now is 1 out away from getting himself out of this jam.
And that is going to be foul. Foul. I thought it was going to be closer than it was. It was probably a good 5 feet foul, but that could have been one that could have scored all 3.
That ball could have been trouble, so thank goodness it went foul.
But a strike. Can Edwards get out of this bases loaded jam here in the top of the 3rd? High there. Edwards wanted that. Outfielders playing pretty much straight away, but kind of shallow. I think they're trying to hope for a potential, squib shot. And that is foul. In the net, Palmyra and Tyler Coleman calling the second game of a doubleheader. Knights moved to 2-1 on the season earlier today, looking to make it 3-1. And it's Small College World Series or bust for the Knights this year, according to Coach Bob Stern, Tyler.
I think they have a good chance, especially with a lot of the pitching that they recruited.
The bunt, and that's going right down the baseline. Fortunately, Boyer picks that up before it can roll back foul or fair.
Yeah, that's strike 3. He bunted with 2 strikes and a 1 foul.
I'm very interested why they would do that. But
they just ran themselves out of an inning. They had a chance to score some runs.
Well, okay. So they load the bases but leave all 3. Can't push anybody across. And guess what? It is still 5-0 Central Penn as we move to the bottom of the 3rd.
Career Services invites you to a fun and exciting event for students, alumni, employers, faculty, and staff during the spring term. On April 29th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., they will be celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Career Resource Center on the Summerdale campus. There will be lots of free food, drinks, and door prizes. For more information about our events, stop by the Career Resource Center in room 53 of Bollinger Hall or email us at careerservices@centralpenn.edu. Career Services also invites you to a fun and exciting event for students, alumni, employers, faculty, and staff during the spring term. On June 10th from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., you are invited to join us for our 16th annual town meeting and Business Partner of the Year breakfast in the Conference Center. For the 2nd year in a row, we will honor 2 Student Interns of the Year, in addition to our Business Partner of the Year. For more information about our events, stop by the Career Resource Center in room 53 of Bollinger Hall, or email us at careerservices@centralpenn.edu.
You know, Tyler, I'm really looking forward to the fact that you are going to be a part of that, and I'm sure that they're going to give you a lot of different opportunities to help out with that particular event. I'm actually going to be one of the speakers. Steve asked me if I would be one of the speakers, and I'm really happy to do that. I've worked at Central Penn since 2013 and in a full-time role since 2016. And to be honest, Steve and the Career Services team, Kristen and yourself, have become very close friends in trying to... I think that as the higher ed institution, we really should push our Career Services office more and the services that they offer. And Tyler, as you know, I've made it a requirement that some of my students go to the Career Services office as part of classroom assignments, and job fairs and things like that.
Well, I definitely think that's an advantage to not just your students, but all students in general. I know I was just in there yesterday when I was working with Steve, talking to him about how to set up my resume after with PCN, going from an intern to then working part-time with them. So they're definitely helpful in there, and are always looking for people to stop by and chat with them.
Boyer fouls there. So, again, bottom 3, 5-0. Edwards got himself out of a massive jam with a walk, a single, and another walk to strike out the side. Not necessarily the way you'd want to strike out the side, but I'm sure he is happy with it all the same.
Hey, I give Edwards a ton of credit. Bases loaded, no outs.
Absolutely.
3 strikeouts. Man, you just kept all the momentum on your team's side.
So Wingirter on the mound now for Hazleton. And that hits Boyer. The second hit by pitch for Hazleton today. And that brings up Hayden Fox, who launched the ball to right field earlier, but it was caught to end that first inning rally, where we put 2 up. So Wingirter gets the strike. Humes is on deck. Boyer on first. Big cut from Fox, can't connect.
Tell you what, getting hit by a pitch is not necessarily the way you want to get on base, but you'll definitely take getting on base anytime you can get it.
Boyer takes off. Vasquez with the throw. It's off target. And the steal from Boyer. They must have some type of scouting on Vasquez in terms of they're running on him relentlessly.
Definitely like the aggressive base running, though. I mean, you're able to get runners in scoring position, and in my opinion, I think that's what's helped build the 5-0 lead so far.
Tyler, 6 stolen bases. Dominguez, Laura, Rodriguez, Fulp, now Boyer. Fox does pop out there, and it is caught by number 22, Jacob Tashler, over at first base. So Laura with 2 steals, Dominguez with a steal, Boyer with a steal, Rodriguez with a steal, Fulp with a steal. That's pretty incredible. Central Penn definitely running out there on the base paths.
Yeah, I mean, if Penn State Hazleton they can't stop it, why would the Knights stop running? Yeah, keep going.
And when you have a lead, you have a little bit more of an opportunity to take some risks like that you might not take if it was closer. Lights are on now, Tyler.
Definitely see a little bit more of a cloud cover. It looked like in between games it might rain. There were some dark clouds behind us, but fortunately it went the other way.
So definitely looking forward to our next game. I would like an actual night game. I love that the lights are on. I want it to be pitch dark outside. Let's play a night game.
Might have to be playing around 8 o'clock then.
We might be. You never know.
Yeah. I don't know if that would be possible for a weeknight game, but maybe definitely for a Friday or Saturday.
I want to say it was the first season, we're now in season 3, that there was an actual scheduled night doubleheader. And that was back when Tom Davis and Brian Cristiano were on the call, and I'm sure they remember that like it was yesterday. Humes fouls it straight back. That's 2 straight fouls. That'll give Humes 2 strikes. $5-0 here. Knights lead in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Edwards is pitching well out there. Time called. Vasquez called for it. Humes has an opportunity with a runner in scoring position here. Only 1 down. And the big curve. Now with that, Boyer moves over to third base.
Looked like another ball in the dirt there by Vasquez.
Does go down as a strikeout there to Humes. Max Thorpe up. Walked last time. Was pinch run for by Rodriguez, who scored. It's the second sort of delayed call there from the ump, but we don't want to give him too much of a hard time. Did you ever umpire?
I never umpired, but it's going around online that I guess the minor leagues are actually going to experiment with robotic umps. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out.
For just balls and strikes?
Yep. I don't know if we'll see that at the Senators level, but I know that in the lower leagues in Single A should be interesting to see.
So Thorpe hit. He is now, again, been replaced by Rodriguez. I think that's a very interesting nuance to this rule because, you substitute Rodriguez, who's a burner out there, and you're going to have to watch Rodriguez going for another steal here. This is exactly what they did last time with first and third. And he goes on the first pitch, and they're going back to third base. They don't even care about Rodriguez, so Rodriguez gets his second stolen base of the game.
I definitely think that's an easy call. If you bring Rodriguez in, he has speed. You send him to second, take your chance. If he doesn't get him at second, you could potentially send a runner from third home.
7th steal here for the Knights. Fulp up to bat, and he was part of that very odd series of events. He reached base on an error, he stole second, he took third on an error, and scored on an error. Pardon me, he scored on the sac fly from Connor Graham. He does look like he's getting around okay. I was a little concerned when he came back onto the field. He was limping a little bit, but he seems like he's all right out there. If we see him in tomorrow on crutches, we'll know.
It could be tough to play if you have a leg injury, especially in colder weather like this, and your tendons and muscles tighten up.
High and tight to Fulp. So a steal and a run on the day for Fulp. Let's see what he can do here with 2 runners in scoring position and 2 down. And he waves at it. This is going to be a really tough play. So close at first, but just out. That would have driven home a run for Fulp, and now Fulp off to the side, and he looks like he's really struggling, but we'll continue following that story. We didn't push any runs across here, so we're going to go to the top of the 4th with a 5-0 lead.
The Learning Center at Central Penn College offers free tutoring in a variety of subjects to both on-ground and online students. Subjects tutored include writing, math, accounting, and anatomy. The Learning Center is located on the 3rd floor of the ATEC building and is open during class hours, including evenings. Look for more information about the Learning Center under the Student Resources tab on Blackboard, or email learningcenter@centralpenn.edu to find out how to get help from a tutor.
Looks like Fulp's going to be coming out of the game here. I hate to say that, but he's definitely not in the best of shape. I do think that it was that initial situation coming in home when he slid, did try to give it a go, and then when he tried to leg out that ball, I don't think it's in his best interest to continue playing today. On the bright side, I guess, for Fulp, not another game till Double Dip Saturday at Valley Forge, and then we'll be back here on the 11th. So only 2 games in the next week for Fulp, which is actually a really good thing in case he does have a sprained ankle or something like that. But of course, we're not going to speculate at this point.
Oh, hopefully he's all right. Actually, I'll see him in class tomorrow night, so I have to ask him how he's doing. Hopefully he'll be ready to go for the team on Saturday.
All right, Colby Edwards, definitely a tough and interesting inning last time. Started off with a walk, a single, another walk, and 3 consecutive strikeouts.
So let's see if Edwards can stay away from putting guys on base this inning and get a quick inning of work in and get the bats going again at the plate.
Yorchak, Goida, and Vasquez due up in the top of the 4th inning. We're moving right along here. I got to tell you, we haven't had a game longer than 2 hours thus far this season.
I guess that could be a good thing, depending on who you're talking to. You know, many people say the pace of baseball is pretty slow.
I got to tell you, these guys move. Yeah. Obviously, we don't have TV timeouts or anything like that. Obviously, we don't take any breaks, which is definitely interesting for us, Tyler. You know, if you ever have a chance to call a game where you do have commercials, it's going to be an entirely different experience. But we're live here with you the entire time. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So Yurchak walked and got to 3rd in the 2nd, didn't score. Little too much in that. We'll strike him out. That's 4 consecutive strikeouts for Edwards. Thank you for joining us on this fine afternoon. Knights' second part of a doubleheader against Penn State Hazleton. We won the first game thanks to Connor Graham 3-run home run.
Edwards is pitching pretty good. He seems to be racking up the strikeouts as we move along here.
That slider is really fooling Hazleton. And there's a shot to the gap. No one's going to get there. Graham takes it off the wall. He's going to get it in the 2nd. That's just going to be a long single there. Good play by Graham in the outfield to get it in so quickly. We're definitely going to miss Christian in the lineup, but Rodriguez certainly is equivalent in speed. I would like to see those two race when Christian's, you know, his wheels are at 100%.
Definitely always advantage when you have guys on base who can steal.
And that ball gets away from Thorpe. And on the passed ball, Goida is going to take 2nd. You know, it's got to be different taking a ball off of the turf when you're inherently used to taking balls into dirt. There's got to be a little bit more bounce to them on the turf. I wonder if that's playing into this, Tyler.
Yeah, definitely. And to your point, maybe that's why Vasquez has been struggling so much for Penn State Hazleton. But, yeah, we generally don't see too many pass, or at least this many pass balls in a game.
So Hazleton came into this ball game 3-1. Now 3-2 after the loss earlier. Might go to 3-3 if it stays this way. And there he goes. Yurchak to 3rd. Thorpe. And the ball gets away from the 3rd baseman. And that will score a run. Max Thorpe threw an errant ball.
A little bit of sloppy play on both teams so far. I mean, we've seen a lot of pass balls, a lot of errant throws.
I think the error is going to go to Thorpe on that one.
Coach Stern now coming out to talk to Colby Edwards.
So a steal and an error scores Goida. So it's 5-1 at this point.
Join us for Alumni Night at the Harrisburg Senators. On Friday, June 12th, the Senators will take on the Erie Seawolves. The Alumni Picnic is from 6 to 8 and includes hamburgers, hot dogs, barbecue chicken, baked beans, mac and cheese, coleslaw, chips, cookies, soda, and water. Tickets are $17 for ages 13 and older and $6 for ages 4 to 12, as well as the Golden Knights Society members. Tickets are now available.
Vasquez back in there. And remember, this is in the middle of an at-bat here. 1 run in, it's 5-1. 1 down. It's a 2-2 count at this point. So 2 strikes to Vasquez. 1 run in, 1 out. Base is clear. And that runs the count full. So Edwards has been tiptoeing in and out of trouble all day.
Yeah, unfortunately, it finally caught up with him here in the 4th inning. But if he can get out of this inning only giving up 1 run, I think he and the team will still be in great shape.
And he walks Vasquez. So up comes number 14, Mark Kakinda. We're going to see a pinch runner here, Corey Brock. Also from Hyattsville, Maryland. So again, catchers and pitchers can be pinch run for, and almost typically always are pinch run for. And Brock now on the base pass. That's definitely an interesting wrinkle to some of the USCAA rules here. They're going to give him the strike there to Kakinda.
Definitely could play advantage to all teams, though. And, when you're substituting a base runner, either for your catcher or pitcher, definitely 2 players you don't want to see get hurt on the base path.
Big cut there from Kakinda. 2 strikes quickly. 1 down, runner on first, a run in. It's 5-1. Knights in the top of the 4th. Low. Definitely want to get an update on Fulp. We'll try to get that update to you here momentarily, but he has left the game.
Yeah, hopefully Christian will be all right. Definitely a smart decision by Coach Stern to get him out, and hopefully he can stay healthy.
We are coming to you from In the Net here in Palmyra. We look forward to our next broadcast, which will be next Wednesday, March 11th, for our games at 4 and 6. We encourage you to come out, but of course, if you can't, tune back in here to our YouTube channel. Santos, a big cut there and can't connect.
So Colby Edwards striking out the last batter again. Strikeouts continue to rise here for him.
He's got 7 strikeouts on the day. He's given Hayden Fox a run for his money. Maybe they've got a freshman strikeout thing going.
It's always good to have a little friendly team competition.
Santos singled and reached second. And it's 5-1 in the top of the 4th. Paul Miller and Tyler Coleman and Tyreen Smalley here with the broadcast. We're going to be calling all the home games this year for Central Penn, so tune in here to our YouTube channel. He's going. Brock with the steal. Just got word from Tyreen that Christian is going to be just fine. He was taken out for preventative reasons. We saw that early in the game when he slid, that he went off gingerly and never really regained. He says he's good to go, though, so nothing to worry about out there, Knights fans. Our star center fielder will return in the next game. What a pitch from Edwards there. And Tyler, he strikes out the side for the second consecutive innings and now runs his strikeout count to 4. And while they did push across a run here in the 4th inning, it's still Central Penn 5, Penn State Hazleton 1.
The Biller Family Foundation was formed with the intentions of helping to empower youth through sustainable sports funding. The Biller Family Foundation is a public charity founded in 2008 by Jerry Biller II and the Biller family to provide a resource for caring individuals and the causes they support, enabling them to make a charitable impact on the community. We help donors of many variations, such as individuals, companies, or endowments that are passionate with youth athletics and want to create an everlasting impact. We help create permanent funds of everlasting impact. These funds ensure that people with vision will have an enduring influence on the life of their community, the positive impact of our young leaders of tomorrow, and the charitable causes they hold dear. For more information, please go to the Biller Family Foundation website at the-bff.com.
And we do appreciate all of the contributions. We wouldn't be here on this broadcast today without the Biller Family Foundation, and we certainly appreciate. We miss Jerry. 2 years ago, Jerry was one of our star players, a catcher. Last year, he was still around working with the athletics department, but he has since moved on to greener pastures, and we appreciated the opportunity when he was here to get to know him. He's a great guy. And, of course, his father, Jerry, is also a wonderful guy. So if they're out there listening, thank you again from bottom of our hearts from the Nightly News Media Club. All right, so we're going to come back to the top of the order here in the bottom of the fourth. Dominguez, Laura, Graham, and then Rosario. So certainly, even though we might have squandered a small opportunity last inning, I got to say, at least we're back to the top of the order. Loeb called a strike. Dominguez was hit by a pitch in the first and stole a base and scored. He also flew out to first base in the second. So he is 0 for 1 on the day. Line shot off the pitcher. Still trying to scramble for the ball. Dominguez takes a wide turn at first.
That ball really rolled into left field.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it went right off of his shin there, and now they're going to take a brief injury timeout.
Coming out to check on him. Seems to be okay.
Right, he's motioning to his right shin. And I'll tell you, he rocketed that ball. That definitely did not feel good. We'll see what happens here with Wingirter, who is the second pitcher of the game for Hazleton, after Hardman was taken out in the third. Pardon me, he was taken out in the second, and Wingirter gave up the sac fly and then got out of that inning in the second there. Wingirter's giving it a shot. We'll see what happens with him. You know, definitely something I wanted to put out there this week. The hide and seek, the sixth student-devised play, hits the stage at the Capitol Blue Cross Theater this week. Starts off tomorrow night at 7:30, also Friday 7:30, and there'll be a special matinee at 2:30, so make sure you get down to the Capitol Blue Cross Theater. Ball there. Laura's got a couple of walks and a couple of steals and one run.
Again, there's Laura taking off. Or I'm sorry, Dominguez.
Dominguez has a steal today.
Definitely trying to utilize that speed at the top of the order.
Again, with like 7 steals thus far for Central Penn, it's no wonder. I mean, I would be too. Dominguez isn't even taking a strong lead there either. He knew that he was going to be... Maybe he read something in him and said he was going to throw over. And Wingirter looks like he's okay after that line shot. And that's going right back to him, and that could be 2. Dominguez at second, and wow, way over the first baseman's head. So
Looked like that ball went out of play, so that's going to put Laura at second base.
So Laura will take first on the fielder's choice and move to second on the error.
So another runner in scoring position now with Connor Graham coming up to bat.
So fielder's choice and E6 there for those of you keeping score at home. I always love when they say that on TV. Who's really keeping score at home? I mean, it's not bad practice.
I could see somebody like you sitting at home keeping
Absolutely
score.
Not. I do keep score at the game, and I'm not perfect at it, but I like to know what's going on. Part of one of the things for me personally at the basketball games, it's kind of tough because when we're calling, we don't have any stats, and any stats we do have are we're guessing. At least here, I've got a sense of where we're at, and it's not like we can keep score of basketball either while we're trying to call the game. It'd be nearly impossible. At least baseball, you can do that. Yeah. So Connor Graham to the plate. Today, struck out and sacrificed fly, so 0 for 2, but does have an RBI. But we'll give Connor a little credit after the 3-run shot in the first game that allowed the Knights to be victorious. And Laura now on second, who's been in trouble, and he's going to third. Vasquez, they got him. That was the first runner thrown out today, and boy, that was even a close play. So he threw him out there at second. At third.
Yeah, it was a nice throw, but kind of questionable, especially with Connor up the hit. I think I'd rather take my chances with him trying to get a hit and score the runner.
Though I think that at this point, Stern just wanted to keep, trying to steal. I don't disagree with you, but I think he was like, okay, they haven't stopped us out of 7 times. Laura already had 2 steals today. Graham swings at one in the dirt, and he's going to strike out, and that will retire the side in an odd inning. A single thrown out at second, an error to second, a caught stealing at third, and a strikeout of Connor Graham. So 1 hit, 1 left, but no runs pushed across. It's still 5-1 Central Penn.
The Counseling Center provides free and confidential mental health and substance abuse services to all currently enrolled students at the Summerdale and Lancaster campuses. Online students living in PA are also eligible for telehealth services if physically coming to either campus is not an option. Contact the Counseling Center at 717-728-2416 or cpccounselor at centralpenn.edu to learn more and schedule your first appointment. Central Penn College will host Let Our Success Be Your Success on Thursday, March 12th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Lancaster Center. At the event, you will meet a panel of Central Penn graduates and learn how a degree has changed their lives and how it might impact yours. The Lancaster Center is located on 1905 Philadelphia Pike in Lancaster.
One important point here, and I'm sure you guys made this in the first game, we are playing a doubleheader, so by rule, we are only going to be playing 7 innings today. Also done in minor league baseball, so if you ever go to a doubleheader at the Senators, it's the same type of situation. So we only will be playing 7 here in the second half of this doubleheader with the Knights leading 5-1. Edwards back to the mound, struck out the side the last 2 innings. So he's got 8 on the day. Kuza, Weaver, Stauffer, the top of the order for Hazleton. You'd think this would be the inning if they're going to try to get something going here in the top of the 5th. Foul.
If Edwards is able to get through this inning, I would definitely like the chances the Knights have to win the game. Then the 6th and 7th inning would be the lower half of the Penn State Hazleton's batting order, so this could potentially be a big inning.
And I look for runners in scoring position in the next inning or so. I would look for Jared Rivera's bat to come up off the bench. And there is a shot to deep left. Graham gives chase, and that is going to be... I'm not sure what the call is here.
Look like it's a foul ball.
Foul ball. Interesting call there. Graham called it, then the second base umpire called it, and then the home plate umpire called it. But boy, I got to say, Kuza definitely took that one for a ride. And that one's out to left. That one's not going to go quite as far and fall just in front of Graham. And a single to start off this fifth inning for Kuza. Up comes number 5, Eric Weaver. Weaver struck out twice today. Struck out with the bases loaded last in the third. And a big lead for Kuza at first.
Yeah, Edwards.
And that ball gets away from Rosario.
Well, luckily, the base runner wasn't able to pick up that ball fast enough to advance to second base.
Fox did have him backed up there, which helped. Definitely one thing that I've seen is there have been a little bit of struggle from the pitcher to first base on the throwovers. That's why, to me, I mean, you want to keep them honest, but at the same time, I don't know the advantage if you're letting them, get to second. And Weaver gives that one a ride. That's going to be foul. Nice evening here. Probably about upper 40s, maybe 50 at this point. Certainly can't complain for the beginning of March.
Definitely going to get a bit chillier as the sun goes down.
And inside there, I think Weaver realizes that if he would have leaned into it, he probably would have gotten on first. That's certainly not your first reaction, though. Your first reaction is get out of the way.
It's funny, your first reaction is get out of the way, and then you're thinking, oh, maybe I should have got hit and got on base.
That's where take one for the team comes from. It's a 2-1 count now to Weaver. 5-1 here in the top of the fifth for the Knights. Colby Edwards with 8 strikeouts has worked his way around a couple of jams, but only 1 run allowed thus far. And another errant throw to first. Rosario. So he's going to get the base automatically.
Again, definitely some sloppy play by both teams in this game. A lot of errant throws.
Well, maybe it is still we're still only in basically the second date of playing the third game. So, this is still sort of their spring training.
Do you have young children? How does a free movie and free popcorn sound? Pretty good, right? Central Penn's Family Flicks film series shows recent, kid-friendly films on a Saturday every other month in the Capitol Blue Cross Theater. The next film is Frozen 2 on Saturday, March 21st from 2 to 4 p.m. The event is free and open to the public.
And we're going to be back at it. Edwards takes the mound. Kuza is at second on the error. Weaver still up to bat. 5-1 Knights. And it's a 2-1 count as Weaver steps back in. And Edwards gets ready to throw the pitch. Weaver bunts. That's going to run the count to 2-2.
Seems like the last couple innings or so, the pace of the game has slowed down.
A lot of walks. To your point, there were some errors as well. Edwards fires, and that's going to be the third strike for Weaver. That's 3 strikeouts on the day, 2 of them with runners in scoring position. I'm sure this is a game that Weaver would like to have back.
Definitely a big Big out for Edwards to get there. Still trying to work his way out of this jam.
Colin Stauffer, he struck out twice. And the pitch. That's going to go right to Boyer at third. Over to first to Rosario. They're going back to third. No one's covering. Boyer does knock the ball down, so that will advance the runner.
That was definitely heads-up base running. They were able to get the out at first, but then the base runner was still able to advance to third with nobody covering. So definitely a mental mistake there for the Knights, but got to give Penn State Hazleton credit on the base running.
So that would go down as a sacrifice in a fielder's choice. I was always fascinated that if you move the runner over, no matter what, it was a sacrifice. Big cup there from number 22, Kosiolik. Excuse me, Tashler is 22. He's from Palmerton, PA.
Palmerton, PA. Do you know where that area is?
I'm not familiar with Palmerton, PA. Lansford, I know. I know where Hazleton is. Hyattsville, Maryland. Not sure really where the rest of these are. Mountaintop, Pennsylvania. I'm not sure where that is. Nick Vitale from Mountaintop, Pennsylvania. Like I said, Tyler, I'll just bring my map next time.
Might be helpful.
All right, so we have 2 down, but a runner at third. It's 5-1 here. And a shot gets by Dominguez, excuse me. So a single there got by Christian Lara at second base. Made a good play on it. But that'll be a single and an RBI for Tashler.
Makes me wonder how long Coach Stern will stick with Edwards here. A couple innings left to play, trying to hold on to the lead. So if he gets into any more trouble, you could possibly see a pitching change.
That makes it 5-2 here. 2 down in the top of the 5th. Just inside to Yurchak, who walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Goida's coming up on deck, and he singled and scored in the 4th. Nice pitch there for Edwards. Lets out a deep sigh there. Wanted that pitch. It's going to be a 1-1 count. Tashler takes a moderate lead at first. And that's golfed straight to the mound. These are always trouble. Rosario takes it as well he should. The pitcher should always get out of the way on that one. But no harm, no foul. We get out of the inning, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th with the Knights lead 5-2.
Central Penn College will host Let Our Success Be Your Success on Thursday, March 12th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Lancaster Center. At the event, you will meet a panel of Central Penn graduates and learn how a degree has changed their lives and how it might impact yours. The Lancaster Center is located on 1905 Old Philadelphia Pike in Lancaster. Are you involved in fundraising? If so, you don't want to miss this free workshop, How to Get Your Board to Fundraise. Join Master Trainer Chad Barger for a discussion on the importance on maximizing the impact of your board members. This free event occurs on Monday, April 27th at 10:30 a.m. to noon at the Lancaster Center.
All right, we will see Rosario, Boyer, and Fox in the bottom of the 5th. And I will say Wingirter still out there after that scare last inning, taking a line shot off his ankle, off of his right ankle. And he's still in the game. Another poor throw from Vasquez there. He seems to be struggling today. Rosario's about to step in. Chris 1 for 2 on the afternoon with a single in the first. Flew out to left in the second. He's still looking for his first home run of the season. And Rosario would absolutely love now to be the time to get his first home run of the season.
A couple more runs to add to this lead would definitely be more comfortable going into the last 2 innings.
And Rosario steps in. And there was a nice shot, but right at the third baseman. And that is going to be out number 1. Rosario grounds out to start off the bottom of the 5th. Brings up Boyer. Flew out to right field, hit by a pitch, and stole a base. So he's 0 for 1 on the day, but does have a steal and probably a bruise to show for it.
Definitely helping his on-base percentage, though.
1 of 6 Knights to steal a base today. And that one's a little low. Tyler, I got to tell you, just having this opportunity to do this is such a blast. We've gotten such a tremendous response from our first game and certainly our earlier game today. We look forward to it being an amazing season.
Yeah, I have a blast doing this with you guys. I'm very appreciative that you asked me to come on and get the experience, and we appreciate the viewers. We've had a pretty steady viewership through basketball, now into baseball, and we appreciate them watching.
Well, we wouldn't do it if there weren't people out there watching it, that's for sure. So we appreciate you tuning in today and watching your favorite Central Penn Knight. And Boyer gives it a ride to deep right field. That's going to be off the top of the wall. Boy, he just missed a home run by about a foot.
That was a nice hit there out to deep right field. Sure looked like it was gone from here.
Big double there from Boyer, which will bring up Hayden Fox with a runner in scoring position. Fox has flown out to right field and first base and is 0 for 2 on the day. Interestingly enough, Tyler, that's only the 3rd hit for the Knights. Fox back up the middle. He will be out at first, but will move the runner, Boyer, to 3rd.
Well, with 5 runs on the board, you definitely would have thought they had more than 3 hits, but definitely has been helpful with all the walks and errors made by Penn State Hazleton.
3 walks, 3 hit by pitch for a grand total of 6 walks. And several of those runners came around to score. So Fox thrown out at first, but does move the runner. And Humes up to bat, walked and struck out, did score a run. And he's hit. Right after we talked about that, Tyler, right after we talked about all the hit batsmen and walks, Humes is hit there. And that's going to make it 1st and 3rd with 2 down for Max Thorpe.
Well, if you're the Knights, you definitely want to continue to get the base runners, whether it's a base hit or a hit by pitch. And a hit here by Thorpe could add to the lead.
Wingirter has had equal problems. While, interestingly enough, Tyler, Wingert has not allowed an earned run, did allow a sac fly when he came in the second, but has not allowed a run since. There's a pretty good shot here, first and third with 2 down. Thorpe could drive in a very key run. There's a strike. Thorpe on the day walked and was hit by a pitch. Rodriguez, who pinch ran for him, has 2 steals. And I got to tell you, it's going to be interesting how the score sheet's going to look with Rodriguez, because he pinch ran twice and now enters the game. Outside, Humes is going to second. No throw. So that'll be a steal for Humes.
Keep tallying up those steals.
Pretty incredible what the Knights are doing here.
Pretty sure we're close to double digits yet.
I believe that's 8 steals on the day. And that's going to go to third. He has a tough time fielding it, comes up with it. And Thorpe gave it his all there, did ground out. And that's going to do it for the Knights. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left, and we're going to go to the top of the 6th with a score of the Knights 5, Penn State Hazleton 2.
The Biller Family Foundation was formed with the intentions of helping to empower youth through sustainable sports funding. The Biller Family Foundation is a public charity founded in 2008 by Jerry Biller II and the Biller family to provide a resource for caring individuals and the causes they support, enabling them to make a charitable impact on the community. We help donors of many variations, such as individuals, companies, or endowments that are passionate with youth athletics and want to create an everlasting impact. We help create permanent charitable funds of everlasting impact. These funds ensure that people with vision will have an enduring influence on the life of their community, the positive impact of our young leaders of tomorrow, and the charitable causes they hold dear. For more information, please go to the Biller Family Foundation website at the-bff.com.
All right, Tyler, we are going to see Goida, Vasquez, and Kakinda here in the bottom half of, the top half of the 6th. And I got to tell you, only 2 more times up the bat for Penn State Hazleton, and we could get out here with a doubleheader sweep and move to 3-1 on the young season as we get ready to go to Valley Forge this Saturday for a doubleheader there. We'll be right back here on March 11th before a trip to, we'll go back to Penn State Schuylkill on March 15th, and then that Virginia sweep that we talked about a little earlier today at Mid-Atlantic Christian and Apprentice on March 23 and 25. And then we'll be back here on March 28th for Christendom. We're going to call a grand total of 14 games on the season. And, hopefully at some point, maybe we get to go do some road games, Tyler, because as much as we absolutely love doing this, it comes and goes too soon.
Yeah, it definitely does. I think maybe doing some road games in the future is something we could think about depending on location, but I know I'm very appreciative of the home games that we get to cover.
All right, Goida leads off. Big cut there. Goida grounded out and had a single and a score back in the 4th inning. Scored one of the 2 Penn State Hazleton runs here. What does Edwards have left in the tank here in the 6th? Nice pitch there, and I'll tell you, those have been 2 of his nicest pitches of the day there. It always interests me to see when the pitchers get into the 6th and 7th inning how much they really do have left in the tank.
Yeah, definitely fatigue would be setting in right now, but Edwards has been pitching strong, and hopefully he's only 6 outs away.
Right back up the box. And Edwards almost had a shot there to catch that just out of his reach. So Goida will go 2 for 3 on the afternoon with a single to lead off the inning. That is 2 consecutive innings where the leadoff runner has been on base. Last inning, they scored. Something to keep an eye out for there, Tyler?
Yep, definitely got to try to eliminate the base runners. We have a meeting at the mound here. Wonder if there's going to be a pitching change.
So it looks like Scott Shamani is on deck here. That's going to do it for Edwards. And I'm not sure if Penn State Hazleton knows what's coming up here. Interesting to see Zach Boyer taking the mound here for his first time. All right, so that's going to close the book on Edwards. 5 innings, 2 runs. Interesting to see what Boyer's going to have here.
For the 5th straight year, Central Penn College has earned the military-friendly school designation. Currently, Central Penn has 55 students who are either veterans or who are active in the military or National Guard. The Student Veterans of America Club is accepting new members. Students must be veterans or active military to join. For more information about the club, contact Student Success Coach and Club Advisor Dan Garisi at 717-728-2367.
I got to tell you, just watching Boyer warm up, he's got a nice fastball, and he just threw an excellent curveball. Looks like there's going to be a double switch here. Thorpe is going to come out of the game for Paletti. Always like seeing Peyton playing. So Paletti will come in. Thorpe will exit. Looks like number 14, Zach Boyer, is going to take the mound. A lot of changes here. I think Boyer's got some pretty electric stuff here.
This will be the first time we've seen him pitch on the young season, so interested to see what he has. Again, the Knights are just 6 outs away from trying to lock down this victory.
One thing you'd mentioned about the military friendliness of Central Penn College, we got to always give a shout out to one of our fellow Nightly News Club members, Parker Rose, who is an active duty National Guard as well as a volunteer firefighter. He's been a volunteer firefighter for many years. Got into that through his family. His family has been volunteer firefighters. So, Parker, if you're out there, I know he said that he took in our first broadcast. So, Parker, if you're out there listening, thank you so much for your service, and we're honored that we get a chance to work with you.
Yeah, Parker does a terrific job not only in his community, but in the Central Penn community as well. And it's great to get to work with him, in the Nightly News Club, and we're appreciative of everything that he does.
Unfortunately, he's going to be graduating here before too long. It's like all the good people just come and go so quickly. We're going to miss them. Brian Christiana only has but 1 or 2 more sets of games that he's going to be calling, and hopefully he can continue to help us throughout the season. But we're going to wait and see what Brian's future holds. He's not really telling me too much about it.
Kind of like Coach Stern, you'll have to reload the team.
Quickly, so the ball gets away from Paletti off his first pitch. Goes to second there on the passed ball, does Goida. And all of a sudden, Boyer's got himself into a little mess here. Runner in scoring position. Big fastball there. The pinch hitter, Scott Shamani from Hazleton. Looks like Vasquez's day is done. Vasquez certainly struggled today, Tyler.
Yeah, he really did, but luckily that was able to help the Knights build the lead that they have.
All right, this is a very important batter here for the Knights, and Boyer, and now he throws it into center field. And that's going to be an error on the pitcher. Moves that runner to third base.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say both teams having their issues right now, throwing the ball around and just letting base runners run all over the place.
5-2. Top 6. We're only going to play 7. So this is a big inning to get out of. Shamani, and that one goes to the backstop. Big batter here. Nobody out in the top of the 6th. Goida singled, went to second on a pass ball, and to third on an error. Nice pitch, and he struck him out looking. Big strikeout from Boyer. Zach Boyer in his first outing of the season with a huge strikeout. Brings up number 14, Mark Kakinda. He walked and struck out 0 for 1 on the day. Was left on third when Edwards struck out the side in the second. And, you know, Tyler, with a Central Penn victory, you got to look back to that second inning. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Penn State Hazleton strikes out 3 consecutive batters.
Edwards did a terrific job of getting himself out of that inning, and because of that giving the chance for the Knights to pull out the victory here today. I'm glad to see that the offense was able to wake up a little bit and get them some early runs.
A lot of the runs that were pushed across were because of pass balls and errors from the catcher Vasquez.
That seems kind of like the theme in today's game.
We'll take the runs any way they come. So it seems that Boyer's settled in. It's a 1-2 count here to Kakinda. 1 down. Runner on third. High and outside. 2-2. Glad to hear that Christian Fulp's okay. Precautionary reasons taken out of the game here. Did have a rough slide, but says he's good to go, so we'll take him at his word.
Yeah, hopefully Christian's doing all right. Yeah, team's going to need him healthy considering how big of an asset he's going to be all season long.
Big cut, and that is going to be a strikeout for Kakinda. Boyer comes into the game and promptly strikes out the first 2 batters. Santos will be up to the plate, and then the top of the order again. Very big batter here. You do not want to bring the top of the order back up here with a runner on third. If you could get out of this jam here, have it 5-2 in the bottom of the 6th, then you only have 3 more outs to get.
Yeah, the top of the order is going to be tough enough as it is next inning, so let's get this last out and get out of the inning.
Nice pitch there from Boyer. Certainly in line for the save at this point. Should he close out this ball game? It's going to be straight to the backstop. Fortunately, oh, they're coming home. And they've got him hung up. And he gets back to third. They had him hung up there. But fortunately, he didn't score.
They had him in the rundown. It's a little concerning that they weren't able to get him out. Definitely had the opportunity to get out of the inning right there.
And that's going to come straight back. It's a 1-2 count. Santos at the plates, 1 for 2, singled in the third. It's going to be outside. Beautiful night, man. You can't ask for too much more than this for early March baseball weather, that's for sure. The winds died down a little bit. We got some lights on. This is baseball right here. Big hook. Paletti holds that pose there for a minute. Framed that one pretty well. But it's going to run the count full, and this is a huge pitch here for Boyer.
Right here.
And he's going to ring him up,
wow.
And he strikes out the side.
Yeah, he's not happy about that call.
3 straight strikeouts for the reliever, Boyer. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We're going to go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's Central Penn 5, Penn State Hazleton 2.
Are you interested in pursuing a career in criminal justice, legal studies, homeland security, or information technology? Central Penn College offers more than 30 career-focused programs in flexible class formats, including in-person, online, and hybrid courses. For more information, visit our website at centralpenn.edu. The Learning Center at Central Penn College offers free tutoring in a variety of subjects to both on-ground and online students. Subjects tutored including writing, math, accounting, and anatomy. The Learning Center is located on the 3rd floor of the ATEC building and is open during class hours, including evenings. Look for more information about the Learning Center under the Student Resources tab on Blackboard, or email learningcenter@centralpenn.edu to find out how to get help from a tutor.
Well, Tyler, we're going to move to the 6th inning, the bottom of the 6th. Due up, Rodriguez, Dominguez, and Laura. So Rodriguez, and then we'll be back to the top of the order again with that speed here. Rodriguez already with 2 steals on the day. 0 for 1 in his first official at bat. And here we go. Rodriguez will step in. Dominguez and Laura to follow, and then back to Connor Graham. I got to tell you, Connor Graham wanted that one back in the 4th inning during his last at-bat when he struck out. So hopefully he's going to get some redemption here. Inside. Ball 1. Still wing girder out there for Penn State Hazleton. He's been certainly admirable after taking that shot to the shin earlier today. And Rodriguez is going to lay down the bunt. This is going to be a really tough play. Man, that was really close. But Rodriguez does get out on that play.
Man, I thought he had that beat out. Definitely good speed there by Rodriguez. Interesting choice to put down the bunt. Almost got a hit out of it.
So Dominguez, 1 for 2 with a single, was hit by a pitch, stole, and scored a run at the top of the order today. And I wonder if this is something that Coach Stern does in the future, leads off Dominguez and puts, Fulp or Rodriguez at the bottom of the order. Obviously Fulp, but I got to tell you that, if Fulp is ready to go, I'm sure he's going to be playing most of the games. And Dominguez to short. And he's thrown out at first on the 6-3 put out. Laura will come up. Laura's had quite an interesting day. He's reached base all 3 times. Reached base on 2 walks, has 2 steals. Did score a run and reach last time on a fielder's choice. So Christian Laura from Mechanicsburg.
Well, if Laura can get on here, that'll bring up the middle of the order again. So that would definitely be a good opportunity to score some add-on runs.
Inside. Somehow got the call there.
Yeah, I might start seeing calls now that want to get the game over with.
And Laura, the shot up the middle. That'll be a base hit. That will bring up number 2, Connor Graham. And now is the time to put on some more runs. So 2 down. But anytime Graham steps in, he's certainly capable of hitting one over that monster. So I don't know if you talked about this much on the first broadcast, but 285 to left. But, what is that out there, do you think? 35 feet? The size of that monster out there?
Yeah, 35, maybe 40 feet. Kind of reminds me of the Green Monster in Boston.
I think that's the look they were going for. Although, if I'm not mistaken, is it York or Lancaster? One of those two has their own Green Monster. I don't know if you've ever been to any of those stadiums.
I unfortunately have not. I'd like to.
Oh, it's definitely a good time. Inside, there goes Laura, and he's going to be in with his third steal of the day. I think we're getting into record territory here, Tyler.
Definitely double digits, yeah. But it's interesting you brought up Lancaster. Maybe we can make our way down to see a game now with our colleague Brian Christiana. Going to be working a few games for the Barnstormers this season.
I would like to potentially do our outing this year instead of Harrisburg down to Lancaster. Definitely. So we're going to have that conversation at a future time. I want to get Brian's dates that he's going to be available and see what types of packages they have. But if you're interested, we'll probably have some extra tickets this year to go down and see a game. We always do a fundraiser each and every year. Maybe we can do both. Who knows?
Yeah, I know the Senators game we went to last year was a good time, so definitely be looking forward to it again this year.
I just spoke with them this week about the opportunity. And Graham, down the third base line, that's going to be foul. It's going to bring the count to 2-1. Graham's got a runner in scoring position, and even just one run would really be helpful.
Perfect guy at the plate right here to do it.
With Rosario on deck. I know Rosario's looking for his first big fly of the year. And the pitch. And Graham knocks it to center. And that's over the center fielder's head and off the center field wall. Laura rounds third. He'll score. And Connor Graham's in with a stand-up double. Another RBI for Graham today. That's his second.
Just took the words right out of my mouth there. Another RBI for him. He had 3 in the first game.
Nice little day he's having.
Had, I think, 2 or 3 of them on Sunday as well. Safe to say he's off to a good start so far early in this season.
But I bet if you ask him, he's going to go back to that strikeout in the 4th inning about something that he remembers, because that's the kind of guy Connor is.
Well, no matter how much success you have, you always think that you could be doing better.
So Rosario steps in. He's 1 for 3 on the day, had a single in the first. Flew out in the second, grounded out in the 5th. And that gets away. Graham's not going to chance it to third. And at this point, I don't know that you would run.
No, I don't think the Knights would be looking to run. At this point, just keep your runners on base and see if you can get a few add-on runs here with a couple more hits.
Big cut from Rosario. And cannot connect. So 1 ball, 2 strike count. We're in the bottom of the 6th here. It's 6-2. Knights. Remember, we're only playing 7 here. So next inning will be it, one way or the other, unless we're tied, of course. Knights could move to 3-1 here, as a loss here for Hazleton would drop them to 3-3 on the young season. Of course, we just had opening day on Sunday. That's going to be out of play. I got to say, Tyler, I look back to Sunday, and I got to tell you that could be one of the most memorable opening day experiences that I've ever had. I have gotten to go to 2 opening days, major leagues. I got to go to Pittsburgh in 2003, and I got to go to the Orioles a couple of years ago. But I got to tell you, last week was something that I'll always remember in terms of baseball, getting to call opening day with you.
Yeah, that was definitely a blast. I know I could speak for Brian as well. I think we all really enjoyed that.
So Rosario hit. They're going to put Graham back to second base. And another hit by pitch. Five hit by pitches today from Hazleton. And I got to tell you, when you're given 5 free passes on the hit by pitch, it's going to be tough to win those ball games. Boyer, a ride to left. This is going to be off the wall. Graham's going to score. Rosario's being waved home. And Chris Rosario scores, and a 2 RBI double for Boyer. I've always wanted to say this. Helping his own cause.
That was definitely a nice hit. Adding a couple more runs, and Boyer now also has the chance to close out the game, so definitely a big moment for him.
So he's going to be 2 for 3 on the day with 2 RBIs and in line for the save. I think he's certainly up there on the Nightly News Player of the Game watch. Hayden Fox will step in 0 for 3 thus far on the afternoon.
And here comes Jared Rivera out the pinch run.
Rivera will pinch run for Boyer, as Boyer is the pitcher. Pitchers and catchers can be pinch run for. Apparently also can be pinch hit for with Vasquez. Was pinch hit for in the last inning and still in the ball game.
So he talked about Rivera, seeing him later in the game, and this time not as a pinch hitter, but a pinch runner.
I would venture a guess that this is the first time he's ever been used as a pinch runner in his career. And that also could mean a double switch here, too, because you don't want to take his bat out of the lineup either. And Freddie Boyer goes and walks over. It looks like he might have an opportunity if Fox can reach base.
It's good to see Freddie back and healthy after the injury scare he had last season.
And Fox gives it a ride to right field. That'll be out of play. Fox has had some really nice hits today, just at people or foul. And that's one thing that, a split second earlier, and that, could be in the gap. Pleasure having you here this evening. Paul Miller and Tyler Coleman calling the second game of this doubleheader. And that's going to be... Vasquez can't come up with that either. Rivera holds. It's 8-2 at this point. And a deep shot way back. Hayden Fox. And that's gone. Wow. Hayden Fox with a 2-run home run. What did I just say? Did I call that?
2-run home run. Wow. First of his college career. Congratulations to him. I'm sure he's taking in every moment rounding those bases right now. 5
runs this inning. We see Christian back out on the field. He seems like he's doing just fine. 10-2 here. And that could be all she wrote. Barr will come in and pinch hit for Humes. Freddie Barr, a senior here, as you mentioned last year, was looking forward to an unbelievable opportunity leading this ball club last year. Unfortunately, had a freak arm injury and missed the remainder of the season. So we're happy to see Freddie back. And frankly, Tyler, we're happy to see this offensive output here. Most recently, a 2-run shot over the monster by Hayden Fox.
And we're going to see a pitching change now for Penn State Hazleton as they're just trying to get out of the game. And but yeah, the offense waking up like this is terrific, especially how much they kind of struggled in the first couple games of the season on Sunday. So to see this output is great to see, and hopefully they can keep it going into their games on Saturday.
We're just going to take a look at some of the players. So Dominguez is 1 for 3 on the day with a steal and a run. Laura has reached base all 4 times, is 1 for 1 with 3 steals and 2 runs scored. Connor Graham is 1 for 4 on the day with a couple of RBIs. Chris Rosario is 1 for 3 with 1 run scored. Boyer has a double, 2 doubles on the day, and is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a stolen base. Hayden Fox, 1 for 4, but that one was a 2-run moonshot over the monster. Freddie Barr will come up for his first at-bat of the season. Dominique Humes walked and was hit 0 for 1 and scored a run. Max Thorpe was 0 for 0. is hit and walked, and then Christian Fulp unfortunately left the game after a reached on an error and a steal. And since then, Rodriguez has come in. He's 0 for 1, but he's got a couple of steals too. So, Tyler, I got to tell you, this is going to be probably one of the most difficult instances of the Nightly News Player of the Game because there's so many contributors.
Yeah, definitely going to be tough to choose who the Nightly News Player of the Game is going to be, but I guess that's a good thing. You know, the more people you have standing out means the better performance the team had.
Freddie Barr up to the plate. Unfortunately, last year, Freddie only had 1 hit in 6 at-bats before that injury. So I'm sure he's looking forward to, a much better, at least health-wise, opportunity this season. But boy, this is going to be a long bus trip home for Penn State Hazleton, that is for sure. So it looks like Weaver is going to come into the game. Eric Weaver, the third baseman, is going to come in. He's really only got to get 1 out to get them out of this inning and hope that Hazleton can put together some type of rally. Also looks like they're working on a player down the third baseline. I think that's what we're holding on at this point. So one more time, Tyler, I got to remind everybody that if you know a high school junior or senior who is looking to get a great career-focused education, that Central Penn is holding its spring open house this Saturday, March 7th from 9 to noon. We welcome prospective students and their parents to attend this open house, and please feel free to register at centralpenn.edu/spring. And again, I'll be up on the 3rd floor of the ATEC building, so when you come in the main entrance, walk up the steps, you'll find us. We'll be watching these games, I'm sure. We'll be having some of our publications to give out. So definitely stop up and talk to me and let me know that you've been watching the broadcast. All right, the game continues. Freddie Barr with the bases clear. And he strokes it to left, and that's a fair ball. That's going to roll all the way to the wall, and Barr takes a wide turn around second. Made the right choice there as he has his first at-bat and hit of the season, and we're getting awfully close to batting around here this inning as Peyton Paletti comes up to bat.
And the offensive onslaught is really continuing right now, but it's good to see. Hopefully the team can save some runs for Saturday.
5 runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Paletti comes to the plate. Keeping an eye on Barr over at first base. Paletti last year, 15 of 57. He had 263 last year with no home runs and 9 RBIs. So he's certainly no slouch at the plate, that's for sure. Paletti I really enjoyed last year because he's certainly the catcher, but he also can pitch. I'm looking forward to see, and we just hear from Gabe Arellano, one of last year's seniors. We're nice to be joining you here, Gabe, and we're all very happy that Freddie got that base hit as well. We did get to see Gabe on Sunday. I said hello to him, and we miss him, but we know he's moving on to, after graduation, to bigger and better things. Coach Stern sees something in the background, not sure exactly what that is.
Makes me wonder why the pitcher was thrown over to first. You think at this point in the game you're not worried about the base runner, just get the batter. But
looks like they're concerned about a car in the parking lot that's lights are shining onto the field. This could be one of the oddest things I've ever seen. I mean, and that certainly would be an issue.
definitely distracting.
without question.
Sure, they're hunting down whoever owns that car to ask them to turn it off.
I'm hoping it's not mine, but I haven't been in the car, so. All right, 10-2, bottom 6, 2 down. Central Penn with 1 out left here in the bottom of the 6th. Remember, we're playing 7 here. And Vasquez cannot hold on.
Looked like Freddie Barr wanted to take off there, but he decided to stay at first.
I think Vasquez got caught up, crossed up there. I'm not sure if the signs were on the same page there, and I think Vasquez wanted to just go out and check the signs. And Weaver. The pitch. Big cut from Paletti. Can't connect. And Freddie Barr at first off a great single that went all the way to the wall. And that's behind Paletti there.
Vasquez is able to stop that one.
Remember, keep in mind, we'll be back here with you next Wednesday for games at 4 and 6 p.m. Paletti with the foul there. That'll take him to 2 strikes. And I believe it'll be myself, you, and Brian again on the call. So we're looking forward to that. And it's always our pleasure to join you here at In the Net in Palmyra. We encourage you to come out. Beautiful stadium here. Certainly a nice opportunity for the Knights, and come out and support them. We've been very pleased with the attendance thus far. And Paletti down on strikes. But that's not before, as Tyler so eloquently mentioned, the offensive onslaught with 5 runs that inning, and that's going to take us to Central Penn 10. Penn State Hazleton 2.
Did you know that Central Penn College, unlike some institutions, does not charge any type of fee for applying? It's absolutely free. Go to our website at centralpenn.edu to apply. Central Penn's year-round accelerated schedule, composed of 4 11-week terms, enables full-time students to earn a bachelor's degree in just 3 years. Fast-track your success with our accelerated terms. Hide and Seek is the 6th student-devised play which hits the stage of the Capital Blue Cross Theater this week. In the play, student actors ask the audience to join them in a game of hide and seek. The actors wonder, where are you hidden in our stories? Tickets are just $3 for students and $10 for the public. You have 3 opportunities to catch hide and seek this week. Thursday, March 5th at 7:30 p.m., Friday, March 6th at 7:30 p.m., and Saturday, March 7th at 2:30 p.m.
And Tyler, I grabbed my tickets today. I'll be going to the Saturday afternoon, so I'm going to be at open house in the morning. I'm going to hang around and do a little work, and then I'm going to enjoy the show in the afternoon. So it's going to be a nice Saturday afternoon for myself and my wife. We're going to go. We haven't missed one yet. So we just heard from the coach that 3 consecutive pinch hitters, 7, 4, and 13, that will be Brock, Nick Vitale, and Brett Vitale. It looks like both sophomores. Could they be identical twins, I wonder? They're from the same area. Maybe that's something we should have found out about in the pregame.
Vitale, that's an interesting name.
It's not spelled quite the same. It's Vital.
Ah, okay.
So Boyer in line for the save, and so this is an interesting nuance to this rule, baseball fans. Obviously, if somebody comes on for 1 inning, it does have to be within 3 runs. However, since basically all you have to do is face the number of batters to get to the tying run, and when Boyer came in the game at 5-2, so even though this game will be 10-2, Boyer is still in line for the save. Interesting stat. The save rule's odd.
Yeah, well, you see that at the major league level too. But I guess as a pitcher, you'll take a save any way you can get it.
Sure. And Boyer's definitely earned it, striking out the side last inning. And guess what? There's 4 consecutive strikeouts for Boyer. And I got to tell you, Boyer could certainly be a weapon in the future coming in to close out games because he has been very impressive. Did allow a single to Goiza to open up the game, but I got to tell you, looking good right now.
Yeah, he's done a terrific job of coming in and picking up Kobe Edwards, who had a pretty good start to the game, and hopefully he can shut this game down and get the last 2 outs, and the Knights will pick up the victory.
Brock strikes out, and this is number 4, Nick Vital from Mountaintop.
Appears he doesn't have batting gloves on, which is a bit interesting in the chilly weather.
I always wore a batting glove on my bottom hand, but not my top. And just foul there. Boyer 2 outs away from the save, and the Knights 2 outs away from the doubleheader sweep and a 3-1 record to start the season. Definitely the start that they were hoping for. Nice curveball, but a little high. Not a bad 2-strike pitch there. And that's high. 10-2, we're top 7. This will be it if the Knights can close them down. 1 down already. Vital, the pinch hitter. Pinch hitting for Weaver. And he strikes him out.
Just like that, back-to-back strikeout to start the inning.
Tyler, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna. My vote is for Boyer here for player of the game. 2 doubles, 2 RBI, hit by a pitch, stole a base, and is struck out 5 consecutive batters in line for the save. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think he had a strong day at the plate, but definitely being able to come in and close out this game, I think easily puts him over the top for Nightly News Player of the Game.
So your Nightly News Player of the Game, that is going to be the pitcher on the mound, Zach Boyer, after 2 doubles, 2 RBI, a steal, and 5 consecutive strikeouts here, and we'll see what happens here. Could he strike the side out back-to-back after coming in for a valiant effort from Colby Edwards? Very close call there, but called a ball. And again, it's our pleasure to be here with you, Paul Miller and Tyler Coleman. We will have just a brief post-game show once this closes up. Big strike there for Boyer, down to their last batter, down 8 runs. They've got to get something going here.
Yeah, if you're Boyer, though, you're looking to get this batter out now and just finish the game off. You don't want it to prolong any longer.
Another strike. And I got to tell you, Brett Vital probably should offer it at the next close pitch, because that would be the game. And he takes 3 consecutive strikes looking, and Boyer, 6 consecutive strikes. He'll take the save. He'll also take the Nightly News Player of the Game. We're going to move right into the Nightly News post-game show here, Tyler. What an incredible day for the Central Penn Knights. Connor Graham with a massive home run, as well as Hayden Fox. Some great pitching from some of our freshmen. I mean, this is just another team effort here. And we're glad to see Christian Fulp okay.
Yeah, all around, it's been a great day. Whenever you can come to the field and win both games of the doubleheader, it's going to be a great momentum booster going into their next game. Both wins were all-around team wins, and we'll look forward to being back here next Wednesday. Hopefully they can keep the victories coming.
So the Knights will travel to Valley Forge. We will not be on the call. We are on the call for the home games on March the 7th, but we'll be right back here with you for Williamson Trade next week. Again, the final score, Central Penn 10, Penn State Hazleton 2, and congratulations go out to Zach Boyer, our nightly news player of the game, with 2 doubles and a steal, and earlier, Connor Graham, the nightly news player of the game, with his moonshot. And I got to tell you, this is looking good to start this season, and we certainly look forward to being back here with you on Wednesday, March 15th for a 4 o'clock and a 6 o'clock. Well, Tyler, that's going to do it for us here. Any final thoughts?
Great team victories today. Able to move to 3-1. Awesome start to the season. Hopefully they can keep the momentum going, and I look forward to calling the rest of the home games with you guys.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us here with the Nightly News Media Club. For Tyler Coleman, for Tyreen Smalley, and I'm Professor Paul Miller, and we will catch you again next Wednesday at 4 o'clock as Central Penn takes on Williamson Trade. We'll see you then.